Okay, so every time we do an exchange rates question, and most of the time when we do conversions questions, we're going to have this idea of dividing to leave and multiplying to arrive. So if I start with 400 euros and I want to go to rupees, I've got to divide by something to get away from the euros and times by something to get to the rupees. And this is going to be given in our exchange rate information. So I've got to go over here to my euros. Now I'd love to get to rupees, but I'm going to have to go through dollars to get there. So my 400 euros I divide by 1 to get away from euros. I'm then going to times by 1.09 to turn it into dollars. So first of all I'm going to do that. 400 divided by 1 times 1.09. That's going to get me $436. Now my $436, I need to get away from those, so I'm dividing by this number down here by the 1 and timesing by the rupees number 62. So divide by 1 and times by 62, I'm going to have 27,032 rupees. So quite a difficult question to get us started off. We have to go through 2 different exchange rates to do this. And in each case I'm dividing to get away from the currency that I'm in and multiplying to get to the new one. Manuel changes 5,000 Mexican pesos to dollars and he receives $336. And now I want to know what the exchange rate is. So if $336 is worth the same as 5,000 pesos, and I want to know what $1 is worth, well, I've got to divide by itself to get down to 1. And so I've got to do the same thing on the other side as well. So 5,000 divided by 336, that's getting me 14.88 to 2 decimal places. And there's our answer to that question. Now here we have a conversion from 6,200 square centimeters into square meters. So the conversion between centimeters and meters is 100. Let's write that down. 1 meter is equal to 100 centimeters. So that's our exchange rate. Now when we're doing square centimeters, we have to do it twice, because we'd have to do that conversion on each side of the square. Think about this. There's 1 square meter, but in centimeters I've got 100 on both sides. So we'd times those together. If those were centimeters, I would have 100 being used twice to get my squared centimeters. So I have to be very careful with squared and cubed units. So to get away from my centimeters, I've got to divide by 100. But I've got to divide by 100 twice because it's squared centimeters. To get into meters, I've got to times by 1, and technically I'd have to do that twice as well. So 6,200 divided by 100 divided by 100 times by 1 gets us 0.62 meters squared. So here we actually have the easiest question we've seen so far. The exchange rate between dollars and euros is 1 euro is $1.158. Felicity changes 4,900 euros into dollars, and we want to know how many dollars she receives. So my 4,900 euros, to get away from euros, I divide by the euros number. To get to the dollars, I multiply by the dollars number. And let's see what that comes out as. That's getting me 5,674.2. Now remember, this is a currency, so it's dollars. and I have to give it to 2 decimal places because that makes more sense from the point of view of currency. We wouldn't say 0.2, we would say 20 cents. Ricky changes $2,895 into euros, and I want to work out how many euros he receives. Works the same way as all the others. I have to divide to get away from my dollars. I'm dividing by the dollars number. I have to multiply to get into euros, and I'm multiplying by the euros number. So I'm dividing by 1.158, and I'm timesing by 1. So 2,895 divided by 1.158 and then times by 1 gets me 2,500 euros. I want to change $400 into euros using this exchange rate. To get away from the dollars, I divide by the dollars number. To get into the euros, I times by the euros number. 400 divided by 1 times 0.935 gets me 374 euros. Now I'm asked to convert 6 kilometers per hour to meters per minute. So let's think about converting 6 kilometers into meters. Now, 1,000 meters is the same as 1 kilometer. So to get away from my kilometers, I divide by 1. To get into my meters, I times by 1,000. So that's 6,000. So this thing is the same thing as 6,000 meters per hour. Now I want to go to meters per minute. Now we know, of course, that 1 hour is worth 60 minutes. So I need to get away from my hours and into my minutes. But think about this carefully. If we're doing 6,000 meters per hour, I'm going to do less meters per minute. So I know I have to divide by 60. So 6,000 divided by 60 is, of course, just 100. 100 meters per minute. If we were to times by 60, we'd end up with something enormous, and that wouldn't make any sense. We have to do less per minute than we do per hour. So we've got to think about dividing by 60 in this case. Camilla joins a soccer club, and the total cost of joining is made up of membership, kit, and travel. The ratio membership to kit to travel is 3 to 5 to 6, and the cost of membership is $78. I want to work out the total cost of joining. Now with any ratios question, we think of these 3 as being 3 little piles, then the 5 is 5 little piles, and the 6 is 6 little piles, represented by these dots. They're going to give me some amount, in this case the cost of membership, which is $78. Now this bit over here is the membership bit, membership, kit, and travel. So these 3 dots are worth $78. To work out what 1 dot is worth then, I would divide by 3. So 78 divided by 3 gets you $26. So one of these little dots is worth $26. Any ratios question you do wants to start with working out what one of those little dots or piles is. So the total cost of joining now is made up of the sum of these dots, and each dot is worth $26. So there are 14 of these dots altogether. So I've got to do 14 dots times $26 per dot. And if we work that out, we will find that it does indeed come to $364. And I'll do more solutions in the next video.